Hey guys, and welcome back to Hitchin' Home. And we are so excited that you're here with us today as we jump into today's project. Today, we are going to be replacing our door lock on our open range 338 BHS. You know, we took a tour of that a few days ago, and sorry about that. I see some geese flying over, and I just can't help but look at them. They're so beautiful. But we've got the open range BHS 338, and we're super excited with it. But as with any coach, there are some certain upgrades and specifications that we wanted to make it ours. And one of the things that we always like to do is that while this is an incredible coach, it is well manufactured. We are super excited, super pleased with it. Nobody really does a good job from the factory, at least that I'm aware of, in the travel trailer segment. Maybe you've got some Class A's or something that is a different story, but at least in the travel trailer segment, you pretty well have this standard latch that's here. And I can't say that this standard latch is anything that's really exciting. It uses the same puny little key here that keys to all of your pass-throughs. No problem with that. Except that these are incredible keys for the pass-through. Not always the most convenient, getting in and out of these little holes here. And also, we often have guests who are over at our campsite with us. We've got adult children who are married and their husbands who come. And we just wanted them to be able to access the coach and get in and out as they need to as well, without having to keep up with a bunch of keys. So what we're going to be doing today is we are going to be replacing this standard factory door latch here with the RV lock. I'll put that a little closer there so you can see it. That has remote access and a 4-button key fob also that comes with it, so you actually don't even have to touch the keypad at all. But just going to unbox this here really quick. Oh goodness, oh my gracious, hold on now. You know, you don't really have a nice product unless it comes with its own stickers. So just there you go. So you know, unboxing yours, that the stickers might come out. But in this, basically, this is what you're going to see here. It's very similar in design. You've got the deadbolt, and then you've got the door latch lock that's there. But also over here on the side, you've got this keypad that you're going to key in your code and open and close the door with it. So that's pretty cool. Love those. That is the front side of it, as you can see there. Just going to set this piece out here. You've got this box of accessories. I'm guessing that in here, these do come with keys, by the way. If you're thinking, well, what do I do if the batteries die? How do I access my coach then? Well, it does have keys as well that are included. Those are in here. There's the key fob, and here are the keys for this lock as well. So, and they're keyed specific to this lock. So that's another thing too, is that a lot of these, I understand, I'm not an expert in it, but I understand that a lot of these are universally keyed. So somebody else in the campground may have a key to your rig. But the ease of installation here is a real thing. I didn't finish emptying this box out actually. Also wanted to show you here that this is the back side. So this is what you'll see from inside the coach here, is this piece here. We're going to be putting that in. It's a new door latch from the inside. This, of course, goes through the hole in the door and connects to the keypad on the exterior. You've got your deadbolt here that you can still operate manually from the inside. It is preloaded with batteries, as you see. I'm going to go ahead and slide that battery supply out there. Probably shouldn't have done that, but I'm going to just guess that the next step in the instructions would say, don't put it back in if you've pulled it out. So we're going to trust that. But my point about the ease of installation is this, that I'm holding in my hand the only tool necessary for the removal of this old unit and the installation of the new. Now, I've got you guys on a pretty wide angle there, but it's not really a lot of up close that we're going to need here. We might get you in for a few shots just to show you around. But let's go ahead and open the door, and we'll go ahead and close the screen portion back and get this door opened up here and go ahead and start. So I tell you what, let me grab you guys, bring you in close here. So we're going to come up here close, and you're going to see basically there are about 6 screws. There are these 4 screws that are here that basically hold the 2 halves of the door handle together. And then there are these 2 screws here in the latch mechanism. And they do send another strike plate with the kit, but there's already the striker plate that's there in the doorway. So I don't know. I'll leave that up to you. If I put the lock on and it works fine with mine, I'm probably going to forego the aggravation, even minimal though it is, of taking that out. So I'll tell you what, let me set you guys back down over here, and we're just going to go ahead and jump in here and go for it. You can time me. I'm not going to put it on a lapse, but let's just see. I want to do this in real time because I want you to see how simple it is. So there's 1 screw, 2 screws, and our latch mechanism has been freed from this end. Set those right there. And then, thankful too that these aren't long screws. If these were long screws, you would see me with my power drill. But there they are, just those little guys right there. That is pretty much it. And so there's 1, 2, almost got 2 out here. All right, the second one is out. Second one. This is number 3 here in the door handle mechanism. And our last step, go ahead and grab it on both sides, kind of keep it pinched together a little bit. I can feel it already loosening up. And there goes number 4. Our next step here then is to grab both of the sides. We're going to pull this interior piece off. Go ahead and set that to the side. And then we're just going to take the rest of what remains there and kind of fold it right out the side. And there you've got the standard factory door mechanism in there. I like to just go ahead and grab that and now put it back in there the right way with the door handle on the right side of the trigger there. But yeah, I like to go ahead and just put the screws back in here. Pro tip, as somebody who has given away an expensive door lock before because they didn't have their old one in hand, you're going to want to store this. If you ever think there might be a chance that you're going to sell and or trade your rig and have use for another one of these door locks, you want to go ahead and set that in a safe place so that you'll have it going back in. Now, what we're going to do next here is we're going to go ahead and take the new exterior portion, get the wiring in here, and go ahead and fold that into place. Now, different than when we took it out, because we do need our hands free just a little bit for the remainder of the installation. We're going to go ahead, if we can here, and drop this plate and these screws back in just to kind of, not too tight, just kind of hold it in place for us and keep everything in check until we can get the 2 halves attached. So just snug that up. You don't want to go crazy with it, because just a general rule of thumb, when you're installing things that screws and holes have to line up with each other, you don't want to tighten anything all the way until everything is in place, if that's possible. Sometimes in the shifting, you won't be able to line things up if you've already tightened them all the way down. So looking here in this bag, looks like we're going to be looking at these 4 black screws. Again, I'm going to have a few pieces left over because I'm reusing some of the original hardware here, not replacing every single piece. Some of these door latches and strikers and things like that, they're all good. You can see that plate went right back in very handily with the old part. Got this powered off here. I'm gonna leave it like that until we can get it going. But open that up a little more so you can see. Here's that pigtail off of the exterior portion. Just going to bring that over here and plug it into. Oh, we got the welcome there from the RV lock. I don't know if you guys could hear that on my mic or not, but we have power. Now, the challenge here is simply getting this connector, this wire connector, kind of back in the cavity here without blocking up a screw hole, so that we can. First thing we're going to need to do is line up the lever for the deadbolt with the shaft in the door handle, and you're going to want to test that a little bit. You can see I've got the door lock coming out, and it is directionally accurate here with what's posted on the door handle, so we know we got that part right. And looks like our screw holes are lined up pretty well. So let's go ahead, see if we can get this one started. Again, grabbing my only tool that we're going to need for this project. These are screws here that are going into a somewhat of a plastic feeling place, so it's kind of cutting its own threads as it goes through. So if it doesn't feel like the smoothest thing that you've ever done, that's okay. Got 2 in. Here goes number 3. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Look at that. And I just did that on the other one as well and missed it. But in my haste to go ahead and start putting screws in, I did not make sure that the door handle was hitting the trigger in the appropriate place. So my door handle is stuck out. I'm glad that happened, actually, because if you were doing that and didn't understand what was going on, I don't know if you're mechanically inclined or not. Not saying you're not. Just glad it happened to me, because I know what that is. And maybe it'll help you. So what you want, matter of fact, let me grab you guys and bring you close so that you can see what I missed and you'll know. So what we're dealing with here is right here in this door mechanism. If you see that little hole right here, there's the trigger that actually pulls that door handle in. Okay, and here is the corresponding door handle lever. You're going to want this to go into that recess right there, simultaneously lining up your deadbolt latch with this piece here. Okay, so there's those 2 things that you need to be aware of as you're moving the interior onto the exterior piece and lining those things up. Okay, now we got that. I'm going to get you guys back over here. We should be able to finish this up in the next few minutes and everything going cool. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I was having so much trouble getting this connector in this hole. I didn't even think about making sure that I was lining up the door handle triggers. So I do believe I'm in that latch now. I'm going to give it just a little test right there, and I do have that. I do not have the deadbolt lined up, however. Nope. No. Still don't. Let's see. We should be close. No. Still not quite there. Looks like all my bolt holes are lined up, so there we go. I've got him now. We've got movement there on the deadbolt. So I want to be honest, it feels like those wires are maybe holding off just a little bit. Let's work that. Just there we go. All right, everything seems to have dropped into place here. So I should be able to go ahead. And I will say this, the body, a lot of the body of this thing is made out of a composite plastic-like material. You're not going to want to really force anything, or you'll just wind up with broken parts. Very expensive broken parts. To the matter of cost, though, I will say this. This is by no means the most expensive door lock on the market. I may have mentioned this already. I'll put a link in the description to this door lock, but it is not the most expensive one on the market. It is a door lock that I have used a couple of times before and had good success with, and super pleased with the performance, the durability, all of those things. So now let's try that. Yeah, there's our deadbolt. I don't know if you guys can see that peeking out. Door works, and I've got one screw left. It's just things like that, guys, especially like I was saying before, that you really it'll really pay you to not tighten anything until everything's kind of in place and you're sure that it's working, nothing's bound up, and yeah, you'll be way ahead, because if you're not sure that everything is functioning as it should, something may be in a bind. And if you go ahead and crank down on these screws at that point, which I am now, I'm going ahead and tightening these the way we're going to leave them. Still not going crazy. Again, this is all composite and plastic materials. So, but we are going to go ahead and secure these things the way we plan to leave them. Okay, I believe somewhere around here is a book, and that book is going to tell us how to code this door lock. Okay. So let's turn it on. We're going to flip it on, and then let me bring you guys in here close, because this is something you'll definitely want to see and be aware of. Okay, so what I said when I turned the switch on, I just flipped this switch on. There are two buttons here that are recessed. We're going to need something to reach in there. This top one is a code reset button. This next one down is a fob learn button. So there's going to be processes that we're going to go through as you hear me talking about it. There'll be the code reset button. There's going to be the fob learn button. And that is going to help us synchronize the key fob, or the remote control, you might say, that came with it. This one will be mine. I'm not giving this to the kids, but there it is. This is the key fob, and you'll be able to lock. As a matter of fact, this is already learned, so we're not going to have to bother with the learning of the key fob because it is already there. Here, let me show you that again. I'm going to press the unlock button, and you heard the noise and the little click. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. There's a little click, and then there you go. So if you're laying in the bed at night and you want to make sure that everything's all secure, what better way than to just be able to push a button on a key fob and hear that chime and know that your doors are locked. You didn't even have to get up. You didn't have to miss your Hallmark movie or your Golden Girls or whatever your wife's making you watch there at the campsite. They are actually recommending, looks like, the point of an ink pen to go in that hole. And what they don't know about me is I am pretty much all digital. Yeah. So, so they go through the handle installation, everything that we've been through, and then we get to step 3, which is program your handle. The default code on the handle is 1234. So that's where holding that for a code reset comes in. We're going to hold the code reset button until the handle responds with a prompt. We're going to follow the prompt to complete programming or change the code. And we'll have 30 seconds to complete the programming. So if you make a mistake here, you just simply start over again. So that's cool. So let's do that. We're going to take this little screw. I think we'll be able to reach in there. And we're going to hold this. Don't know if you heard that or not, but a voice just said,
enter new code, then press lock. New code accepted.
Okay, I don't know if you guys could hear that or not, but I held the button there until a voice from the lock said, enter new code and press lock. I entered the new code, press lock. Of course, in secret, got my back turned to you guys. But then after I entered that code and pressed lock the first time, again, as a confirmation, that voice says again, enter new code and press lock. I did that and it said new code accepted. So we are fully functional here with the door lock. I'm going to take the old handle and store it here in the new lock box. I've got the new keys. And I've got these stickers too. Did I mention the stickers? I want to be sure you know that we've got stickers here. So we're going to trash some of this, a couple of these things, but I am going to store this in my shop, the old door handle. Not planning on getting rid of the open range here, but you never know, right? You never know. Seasons change, dynamics shift for the family and for travel. And in that event, you want to be sure. So how does it work? I don't know. Let's see. All right. So we're going to close him up and we're going to lock the door. And there it is. As you can see, the deadbolt is securely in place. I'm going to put the code in again, press unlock. Let's see what we got. There it is, and it brought the screen door with it as it should. So there is the very simple replacement of a factory door latch with the, hang on here, with the RV Lock Compact. Over 20,000 5-star reviews. Again, I've used this brand of lock many times before. It's always served us very well. This is probably my 3rd one that I've bought. But super excited about this, and also the keyless function of it, that you can, anybody's fingers who have the code, and you do want to be careful with who you give your code to, but trusted family members like our kids, their spouses, we certainly trust them with that. And it just makes it really accessible. We only live maybe an hour and a half or so from the coast. Sometimes we go down to the coast, we'll drop the camper there for a week, and we'll tell our kids, hey, we're going to be there, pop in and out as you please. It's close enough that on an evening after work, they can run down. maybe on the weekend, but we don't have to be at the campsite. We don't have to leave keys in random places and hope they can find it or hope nobody else finds it. They're just able to come down. So there's really a lot of advantages here. And again, if your batteries die, no fear, you do have the key, and it works with the keys just the same as your standard door lock on your rig does, that it came with. So just let me show you that again. You can, again, take this, put the key in, the deadbolt is locked, and with the key also, you can lock the door handle as well. So there are some advantages here even with the key, but just wanted to show you guys that so that you'll see that as well. But there it is, and that's it. If you guys have any questions, any comments, we'd love to hear from you. Again, if this is helpful, we would love for you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And hey, thanks for being a part of the Hitching Home community. We'll see you next time.